rumors are true. Names that are legendary. StockLegends.com.
Hello traders, StockLegends.com here. Today we're looking at Attd. It's a bit of a tongue twister, so it's Alpha Tango Tango Delta for November 4th, 2011. This is a 6-month chart, so it goes back a few months here, back into June, July area. If we take a look at the chart, not a lot of movement here, a little bit of sideways action on low volume. We had some volume pickup, and unfortunately it pushed it down to the downside, and we had a downward trend begin to build. If we start to connect this red resistance line along all our high points, you can see it's basically the negative pressure that's pushing the price down. We can also look to our tricks here, which is our momentum indicator. Works similar to MACD. A lot of people may be more familiar with the MACD, but the trick sort of gives more of gradual sort of swings, and we can see that it seems to be going really well where our trends are reversing. So we're going to look at the tricks in this particular example, and we can see it crossed over to the downside right here, giving us a sell signal. So we had this red line pushing the stock down lower. You can see once we started to trade above it for a little while, we would call this a breakout right here, and it started to push the stock from a downtrend into a sideways movement. So we had some resistance building up at 002, and we had higher low points. So we have this support trend that's now beginning to build, and it's pushing the stock price back up, which is this blue line here, and it's pushing it up against the resistance. Now if we look at the tricks here, we can see that it also gave us a buy signal right after we came off the bottom. So again, we know that it looks like it's giving us those great signals of trend reversals, and you can currently see that the tricks is giving us that upward trend, looking very healthy here. Now what happened is the volatility starts to get really tight. You can see the volatility was quite wild here at the very beginning, and the volatility really starts to narrow as the support and resistance start to squeeze in towards each other. And what happens is either we could see a breakout, where we break above the resistance, or we could see a breakdown where we break below the support. Generally we can look to volume for that, and what happens is volume starts to pick up here over this very tight volatility period. That means interest is starting to come in the stock. It usually gives a signal of breakouts coming. Sure enough, the next day after the volume picked up, we had a breakout. We broke past the 002 resistance. Now what's important to note is I have here resistance becomes support. So what happens is this red resistance line, once it gets broken, will now act as a support level. So let's make it blue because it's now going to be behaving as a support. So what happened, we had a lot of volume come in, stock ran up to 0039, pretty much a double from the breakout point, and now what's happened is we've come back down on a correction back to the support area. Now the support looks like it's holding. We tested it and we held it and lifted from it. So that signals that the support's still intact, and we are very likely going to see a bounce from the support level, and we should continue on this upward trend. So from basically the support area, it looks like it's holding. We've got our rising trend line as well that's suggesting that the stock's in an upward trend. We've got the tricks moving upward, confirming the stock's in an upward trend, and we've got a short-term pullback. It looks like the stock's still in a very bullish stance, and we should see a lift from this 002 area back up into the 0039 area where our next resistance level is. So let's take a little resistance line and draw it up in here. You can see we met resistance. I guess we could call this basically 004. We hit it once and we failed to break it on the next day, so we came back down. Now this is normal because we basically went from a much lower point here, which was about 0015 approximately, all the way up to 0039, a huge run. We need these corrections and consolidations. They're very healthy for the stock to sustain an upward trend. So we don't go straight up, we move up and down in waves, and it looks like we're at the bottom of that wave, getting ready to move up. We could see another really big run, similar type magnitude from basically the 0015 all the way to 004. We could see a similar type move where we are here at the 002 area. Should break us past the 004, and we can go up and start to test some new resistance areas. Where we have resistance, right around 005, we have the 100-day moving average. That could potentially be a resistance. Also, if we go up a little higher, we can see where we had some prior support. Remember, as I mentioned, prior support will become resistance. So right here at around 008, 0085 is the next resistance area we can possibly look at for any sort of really hard resistance that we might encounter. So I mean, from here, this looks like a great opportunity just after a breakout, and we should see a nice long trend continue. If you take a look and look at the lengths of these trends from August basically to October, that was a 2-month downtrend. Now we're reversing that. We're 1 month, just barely 1 month into the uptrend, so it suggests we have about another month of upward trending to go from here. Taking a look just at the cycles that we're looking at certainly suggests that we're just halfway through the uptrend, but what's exciting is now that we have volume in the stock, we can really start to see some high moves as there's now buying interest and a lot of traders taking notice. Great opportunity to get in. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, happy trading, and don't forget to check out stocklegends.com and go to the current place section where you can read all about Attd and some excellent due diligence we've put together for you.